Hello everyone and welcome to my very first video. This is for Dark Souls 3, Syfodias speaking. I'm natively from Holland, so this is my second language. Forgive me for any mistakes. And since it's my first video, I'm gonna make a lot of them in a game where it is all about dying. I'm sure I'm gonna die a lot. So let's start a new game, and for everyone here fresh, I'm gonna explain a little bit of the basics as well. I'm gonna skip the intro video here, and yeah, what is the first thing you want to do in a game? A name entry. So let's be super original here. And let's call this character Syfodias, which I name all my characters. Mostly it's for a cleric kind of build, but I want to take a little bit of an average character so we can use most of the stuff we're going to find and show a little bit in game what you can do. I'll be targeting to play for around 30 minutes max, so let's see what we can do. There's a gender you can choose, of course, between male, female. Nothing new here. Maybe there will be a transgender function later. I'm not sure. I'm going to stick with male now. And for the age, young, mature, or aged, I'm not really sure what's going to be the difference in the view, because right now he's wearing armor and there's really not much you can see. There's different classes in this game, and for you guys who are new, uh, it's more of a template. As you can see on the right, there are different stats, level, vigor, attunement, etc. And that's the kind of difference you're gonna see in picking a character. So that means there's no really wrong choice here. Of course, if you take sorcerer, you will have a lot of extra stuff in attunement or intelligence, and that's a waste if you want to be more of a melee. So for min-maxing, it's very important to choose a class that's gonna fit your playstyle. But like I said, you can always respec in this game. So if you know that you're gonna be a bit more of a melee character, then don't choose a sorcerer or pyromancer. And if you want to be a little bit all-round, like for this playthrough, I would recommend the knight. It has a 100% block shield. That means if you block an attack, you don't lose any damage. And if you take, for example, the warrior or the thief, then you're gonna get some damage when you block an attack, and it's advised to roll. I'm not gonna explain all the classes here. We're just gonna pick the knight. It also has a nice starting sword, the long sword, which is actually good enough to carry you through the entire game because it's fast. It has a nice damage as well. Skills with two different stats that are very good. A burial gift is something extra you start with. For me, I wouldn't advise something special. A lot of people choose the fire gem because you can imbue your weapon with fire, and a lot of enemies are receiving extra damage. They are susceptible to fire. I like either the Sovereign's Soul because it gives 2,000 souls. It's a small level up boost, or the life ring, which you can use in the start of the game, that gives some percentage extra hit points. So we're going to start with this little beauty here, so I can make more mistakes. And you can change your face. Now, what is cooler than changing your face? I wish you could do this in real life. Here are some examples you can choose. And the reason I am actually not going to do this very complicated, because it doesn't really matter. Most of the time you'll be playing with a face covering helmet that if you remove, you're gonna receive a lot of additional damage. So I think it's smarter to not use too much time in that. There's a lot of things you can tweak. For example, you can make someone more muscular or less. Here it's hard to see the difference, but I think if you take a little bit of a bigger character, let me see. You take a very burly character and then you make him more muscular. Or body hair. Yeah, that's very realistic. Yeah, and you make him muscular, you'll see a bit more of a difference. So let's change the voice. Let's make him mature. Don't want to have some young kid screaming all the time. I'll be doing that enough. So I think I had load a favorite. That's easy. So I had some if you put some effort or time in it, you can save something and then just load it. It's very easy. I think this one looks a lot like me. No hair, a little bit of a beard because I'm very lazy shaving. Well, we're finished with the character creation, so let's start. Here we are in the Cemetery of Ash. This is the tutorial area. It's not that big. It consists of one boss, one optional tricky enemy that we're gonna show later. You walk with the left, what is this called? Analog stick, yeah. And the right one you use to move the camera. I use inverted. I don't know, started with me when I started playing NES games, shooters. It's a lot easier. There are tips on the ground. You can read the messages. These are not from players. They're from the PlayStation itself. R3 is to lock. That is one of the best things to start with. When you lock your target, see, you keep him in range, and when you roll, you always keep your face near him. If you don't do it, you're gonna walk around like free roaming, and that's a little bit harder to play. So here we go. It is attack. It's so easy. Alright, here's some small item. Soul of a deserted corpse. You can use these items to get more, I want to say, experience points. At the bottom of the right you can see your souls. That's actually the currency in the game. So all the souls you obtain by killing enemies or pillaging items, that's what you can use for level up or increasing your armor. And as you can see, we picked up an Ashen Estus flask. It's the blue one. If you look to the left of the bottom of the screen, you see there's a orange one. It restores health. The blue one restores, I think they call it focus points. It's a little bit like mana. So all the skills you use, for example, you can hold your sword with 2 hands, pressing the triangle. And then you use the shoulder button L2. You see what your character does? Oh, get hit by an arrow. No, but you can use special moves like this. Or this one. And they are different per weapon, so it's very recommended to experiment with this. It costs a little bit FP, so look, on the left some sneaky, and if you're in the back you can do a backstab attack. I'll try to show that later. If you go here, there's an optional enemy that that's guarding an item, plus you get a lot of souls for killing it, and we're not going to do this now. Actually there's 2 reasons to do it. One, he's pretty tough, but of course I can beat him, so can you. But if you have the souls and you die, you have to play from the start. Now, in this case, it will be from here because you enable a bonfire. Though it's not very far. You can walk back and simply pick up your souls. But if you die while getting your souls, then you lose them. For example, if you're like me, you're an idiot, and you press circle to do a backstab from a cliff, you'll lose all your souls. And that's a waste. So it's safer to not kill the enemy now, and do it after you can use the souls to level up, or at least buy things. It's a waste to waste them. It's already in the words. Now look, you can block, move behind him very easily. See? You just let the enemy do the attack, and go behind. I've quite a little bit lost my gameplay because I haven't played the game for a long time. I did finish the game. To be honest, it's not the hardest from the Souls games. I'm always doubting between the second and the first. The first has some very difficult elements, especially the expansion had some difficult bosses, but I'm gonna vote for the second. I'd like to hear your opinions about it as well. See what I did there? It's called stupid. I would be a perfect teacher to show you how something is not done. Because I was aiming for the one standing here, and when you jump off like a cliff, and there's a little bit of a height difference, you can do a plunge attack, which normally instantly kills these enemies. But I jumped in between them, and well, I can say I'm lucky to not have died for the first time. This is also a very easy tactic. It's a bit cheap, but because you have this 100% block shield, let me show you. You can see it here on the right. I think there. How do I? On the right, you can see under durability, physical, and then on the shield you see 100. That number means that you won't lose any damage as long as it's a melee attack. If it's someone who attacks with, for example, the fire arrow you saw before, then it's not deducted from your physical, but from your fire resistance, which is 46. So if that was a percentage, then you only lose like 50% of the damage. And here's our very first boss, right behind this doorway. They always tend to give you some items right before a boss that you can use. For example, this firebomb inflicts fire damage, and in the second phase of this boss, he's weak versus fire. So let's find out if we can kill him the first try. We'll remove the sword. And then you get a few free hits. If you die, it's you don't have this again. So when you take it out, get some hits in. Watch your stamina, that's the green bar. Oh yeah, see, that's stupid. And it's more stupid. Yeah, you gotta be close to him. You can block, it's no problem. And then you have some free space, you can heal or hit. See? Don't forget to roll, that's with the circle. And keep moving so he doesn't grab you or just does that. And actually this is a very stupid position. Now I'm standing near a cliff. Gonna keep on hitting. Okay, let's take some distance, which is not smart. Throw bomb, see what happens. I was hoping he would be stunned. Doesn't seem to work, so let's take some more distance. Drink to get some HP and try to get in close. If you're... Oh! This is not going very well. But he's close, he's laying on the floor, and there you go. That's it. I hope that was audible through all the music. I can put the music a little bit softer in the options screen. Hey, but that's it. The first boss. Not that tough. I made a lot of mistakes there, but I'm not one of those guys that can play through the entire game naked and with only their fists. I also like to make mistakes because it's part of the learning curve, and it's especially hard when you're also talking at the same time. But that's your first boss. He gives some souls, and what is very unique to all the other Souls game is he doesn't drop a boss soul. Normally if you kill a boss, they drop their own soul, which you can use for weapons or rings, or there's always some special smith that can turn these items into something special, and this boss doesn't drop it, and there's a reason for that. And I'm not very good in the lore, but later on in the game you fight the real version of this boss. That's called the Champion Gundyr, and he does drop the Gundyr soul. So it's a kind of if you're new to the series, it won't mean anything to you, but if you've played it before, like me, you get some question marks like, hey, why did this boss not drop a boss soul? It's very strange. Even if it can be a useless boss soul, like give you the same amount of souls that a random or a bit of a tough enemy would give. Okay, this is a Sparta moment. Check this out. Bye! Woo. I'm missing the Benny Hill tune here, but let's continue on. This is still, for me, a bit part of the tutorial. Let me show you all some little tricks here. If you didn't start with a knight, then for some classes, the shield you can find at this tree. Here we go. That's a little bit of an upgrade. Oh, here we go. We have guests. Oh. Yeah. Over here, there's a katana guy. If you kill him, you get his weapon and his armor. Well, his armor is not that special. It's just tattered cloth. But his weapon is actually very good. And the reason we're not going to kill him now is the same reason I gave with the special mob in the starting area, which I forgot to add, that we're going to get an item. It's called the Silver Serpent Ring, which gives you extra currency. So when you kill an enemy, normally you get, for example, 1000 souls. You'll get 1100 or 1200. I'm not sure what the exact percentage is, but it's nice. And it's a waste to kill these enemies if you can kill them 2 minutes later with a special item that gives you more souls. So let's grab those things first. And when you do that, there's something else I want you to pick up. This is not very important, but you put the sword that you took out of the boss earlier, and it's just a sort of a hub. This whole area has all your merchants, teachers, they all come here, and when you rest here, just like at the other before, you can travel to different points where you unlock other bonfires. So what I'm gonna do is buy some items from this lady over here. Yes. I skipped text, sorry. And what are we gonna purchase? We need one of this. is a prism stone. We have already some bombs. This is a really neat item. I'm not going to pick it up now, but we're going to do it later. Because when you use it, you get invaded more. And since this game has been out for a while, I think people are not invading that much, or at least not here. So it might be fun to see if we get invaded more and, well, either kill them or get killed and laugh either way. This is... I already have 2 of these. This is a nice item. Pick it up. You can make a summon sign on the floor. For example, before a boss or a hard area, and people can summon you and you can co-op. That's one of the nicest things in the game. I would really love to see From Software make a game like this where you can just play online with your friends from the start to the end. That would be so awesome. I would love that. Let's see, the other thing you want to buy is, from the back of my mind, this shield. I'm also going to buy this. Why? It's worse than the helmet I wear now, but it's lighter, and that's not really the reason, but we did put a lot of effort in making our character face, and now at least you can see me smile every time I die. Okay, then we go up here. We're going to use these items. I'm going to show you later. And you go up, 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 and this is some nice feature for the fans. If you play Dark Souls 2, this is a nice nice scenery. It's a tree of a giant, and they were a big part in the second game. And if you kill an invader, or you had an invade encounter, I believe, some item drops here, the seed of a giant, and you can use it so that the enemies will also attack the invader. Now, I'm going to grab this here. This door is locked now. You can buy an expensive key to open it, and then you can also have this ladder pop down. But for now, what we're going to do is, there's a jump you can do, which goes a little bit like this, but not like that. And then you go on the roof. Now, I'm going to cut the video here, because it might take me 2 attempts or maybe 20. I have no idea, and I don't want to bore you. So let's skip ahead to jumping the correct jump. And there we go. Oh, you have no idea how many times I tried to jump this time. I think an entire movie was filmed, recorded, and played in the cinema until I finally got it done. And you might be wondering, why are you naked? That's a good question. You might not like the answer, but I think it's a little bit psychologist. I'm not sure if you jump further or run faster or recover stamina more, but it's just a mind thing, I guess. And when you make the jump right, there's some nice rewards for you in it as well. Before we go to the right here, there's a opening right around the corner. Let me see. Oh, we just passed it. On the left, but we're gonna go here anyway, because there's a crystal lizard, and these mobs are in every part of the game, and they drop upgrading items, which is very useful. Here we go. Let's... Ah, no, he doesn't want to die. Now, what kind of enemy doesn't want to die? Now, this is what you don't do, because now it disappears and you have to reload the area again, which means the jumping. It's not really worth it doing it. It gives a twinkling titanite. We don't need it for our run now, but yeah, you hear that? That's the samurai guy down there. He's also still waiting to kick my ass. And let's not do that now, because I really wanted to show you the silver ring, which is the whole reason we're up here. But these lizards, yeah, try not to miss them like I did, because you have to backtrack and it takes a lot of time, especially because of the stupid jump. Here we are. You can dump some items here. For example, this one. This one. The homeward bone. I always tend to forget that one. And the shield I told you to buy earlier. It's the large leather shield. And when you leave these items, or less or more, some items give you better items for trade. You also learn a nice gesture. There's another twinkling titanite. If you were able to kill the one from the lizard, then you have 2. You can already upgrade a special weapon. Wait, let's pick it up. We also have 2 now, so we can do that as well. And there's the large shard. Especially these Estus shards are very handy in the start, because you can upgrade your flask and have more uses. So as you can see now, you can only heal 3 times, but with the shards you find, you can heal more. So here's the ring. You might have noticed it, but on the top right you see the equip load, and when you wear heavier armor, this percentage gets higher, and the higher it gets, the freakier you roll until you even have a fat roll or not able to roll at all. And that makes the game even harder and harder. That's why I always keep my load under 70%. I don't feel a lot of difference if you make it a lot less. So just wear the armor you like. It doesn't really make a big difference. Here we go. We use it to reinforce it. And then we can have 4 or even 5, because this is not a magic character. I'm not going to use a lot of magic, so I'm going to choose a lot and make it 5 for the healing and 0 for the FP. If you talk a little bit with him and press the dialogue away, you also get a gesture. If you're a freak for all these kind of trophies, then don't forget it. I think we've said everything.
Be careful.
Here, let's check how many we have. We only have 1 Titanate shard. If we have 2, we can upgrade our weapon. So now what we're gonna do is, like I said, we missed the area from the start. There's an enemy. Let me show you. That's the one in the cemetery of Ash, and let's go there right now. And we're back in the cemetery of Ash. So we're gonna backtrack a little bit. It's always fun if you play the game for the first time and you walk back instead of the way you came. You always notice, for example, an item here or there from a point of view that you didn't use before. Or you just have to look better, unlike me. I tend to rush through parts of the game too fast and miss out on very easy items. Turn back, that's a nice message. But these are actually, I'm not really lore-wise a fanatic, but they look like giant crystal lizards. Don't worry, these won't disappear. The only disadvantage these guys have is they make you disappear. So let's pull them out. Always make sure to stay a bit close. And don't deplete your all stamina, like hit him 2 or 3 times. And don't wail all your stamina away like me. See, now you get a hit for nothing. If you do hit him a lot, you might stun him. And you can do a sort of riposte, like when you parry someone. Oh jeez, this damage is so low. Let's move back. And that's a good time to heal. And let's wait for him to attack. See, I lost a little bit of damage there, because his attack was magical, not only physical, but there's some magic involved, so that's why the 100% shield doesn't block everything. Now he's stunned again, you walk in front of him, and there we go. Easy peasy. And these moments when you kick your opponent off you is a very good moment to simply heal. I didn't show you another trick. Let me show you here. When you press the big square button on your joypad, you can assign items here. And one of the things that's easily to do is the homeward bone. You can access it from the quick menu and just use it to return to the bonfire you rested at, or just back to the shrine bonfire. And it's going to save you a lot of time because you don't want to always walk back. Here we go. Now before I finish the last of this video, I am just going to show you where to put your stats and what to do next. I always sell everything I don't use. For example, you can use these souls, but instead of using them, you can also sell them. It's the exact same amount. It only saves you time using them, so I always sell them here. You can sell the embers if you like. They give 1,000 souls. In the start of the game, that's a lot. But don't forget, when you die, you lose a bit of your maximum health. So it's smart to keep at least 4 or 5 around, maybe 10, I don't know. If you're new to the game, then don't sell them at all. You can always kill enemies a lot of times just to get some extra XP. And what can we sell more? Here, a broken straight sword, 3 souls. Wow. I didn't know a soul was worth that less. See, the shield is worse. I'm not gonna sell. This is sentimental value. It's your starting gear. Oh, I'm creepy. Yeah, this one I'm never gonna use. 500 souls. Sorry, Sunbros, but that's the way it is. Yep. Everyone in this game is obsessed with souls. Maybe because it's the title of the game. I have no idea. But we're giving them away like they're hot dogs. So level up. Vigor is always smart for your health. Right now I'm gonna make Dexterity 14 and Strength as well, because I want to have this balanced so we can use a lot of different weapons. And I want to use the bow that you're gonna find very soon. We're gonna use it for another trick. So I'm just gonna use that one and put the rest in stamina. So that's quite a big boost. 150 health more. You're gonna really see some difference. So here we go. The rest of the souls. I think it's a good beginner's tip to always spend all your souls, because you want to play reckless and enjoy, and it's maybe a good idea to just purchase some small items. For example, the fire bombs are useful, but for now let's take some arrows. They only cost 5. So you have 42. We're gonna need more later, so it's a good idea. Okay, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like if you like the video. Like I said, this is my first one and I stutter a lot. There's not a lot of emotion in my voice yet. Just give me a lot of feedback and I'll work on it, and I'd love to hear more from you. Thank you very much for watching.